What's up, my little tattletales? How y'all doing today? Well, if you are Khloe Kardashian, Kris Jenner, maybe Kylie, and definitely Kim, baby, listen, don't drag me. But I think they found the new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, y'all. Tristan has laid his mother to rest. Now, how do we know this? Because the Kardashians told TMZ where they were going to be, and those cameras showed up at the burial sites to take pictures. They have pictures of Drake. They have pictures of Tristan. But you know what? I will say this. It looks like Tristan's real deal Jamaican family kept the Kardashians on the outskirts. Now and again, we don't know what happened in the church, but I think it's safe to say by the pictures that have been put out by TMZ, baby, Kris, Khloe, and Kim, and they said Kylie might have been there. We don't know. Push the family, pushed them far to the side. They shut down any attempts they could have had at using like the walking up, getting photo shoots, using this for the next season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Now listen, before y'all start with me, I know that don't mean nothing because Kim literally used Pete as a storyline on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and Pete barely even appeared. And the second season, I don't think he appeared once. You just heard his voice in the background. But that said, let's talk about what happened. Now, I find it interesting, and again, we're gonna wait for more photos to come out, but I find it interesting that Khloe was the first person to say, oh, I'm supporting him. It don't matter. And she put her death out there. She put whether they are attending. They even posted, even though we saw it and we ignored it, that they had all boarded a private jet, knowing they were going to Tristan's mom's funeral. They have kept this in the papers and news several times a day. I'm going to call it once. I'm going to call it twice. I think they wanted to if they don't use this as a plot for the new season. You saw the way they were crowdsourcing, right? Kim literally putting up on her Instagram, hey guys, do you have any new ideas for what you want to see on Keeping Up with the Kardashians? To which I said, didn't you just expose that none of this is reality? Now, I know that it's all scripted, but it was on a different level. What you're asking us, and we have any ideas on what should actually happen in your life? How about you talk about the Balenciaga scandal? How about you talk about what happened with you and Kanye? How about you talk about what happened with you and Pete? How about we talk about what happened with Travis and Kylie? How about we talk about what's happening with Kris Jenner and Corey, the pink satin silk shocker, Corey Gamble? How about we talk about any of that? Oh no, you want us to be like, can we please see North reorganize her closet? Can we have a tour of Saint and Chai's toy room? What the hell you think we want to see? How about the D reality? But let's get back, right? Again, this is saying something. We don't know if Jordy was there. We don't know if Marley Nichols were there. Now, hear me out on this. I don't know if Marley even would have been invited because maybe Tristan feels so much animosity. I would hope that now that this tragedy has befallen him, he sees what's important. But it's very easy in this situation for him to feel a lot of anger and animosity toward her because it's a way to take his grief and focus it on someone that in his mind treated him very, very unfairly. But let's talk about Jordy, right? Jordy's Jamaican. She knows the customs. I know a lot of people say that the mom didn't like Jordy because, there was a Keeping Up with the Kardashian episode where she referred to him, True, as her first grandchild. And as somebody that misspeaks all the time, I will just say this. I think she meant her first granddaughter. But that said, Tristan's mom was also the person that Khloe says told her that Tristan was single. So we don't know what's going on with that. We do know that when death happens, none of that matters. Not the glitz, not the glam, any of that. I say all this to say, Khloe, Mrs. I'm going to be your support riding in the car with Tristan. I'm being serious. Now hear me out, right? TMZ was there and they were taking far away photos and zooming in. That's why they're so blurry, okay? Go to TMZ if you want to see them. They ain't nothing. It's just pictures of Drake. And then there's a picture of Khloe and Kim peeking out. The one thing that is obvious, because they had to zoom in, Khloe was nowhere near Tristan entering the church. Now, does that mean something? Maybe. We need more information. But what I know, and Jamaican tattletales let me know, and I think it's across cultures, when you are in the family inner circle, especially when you have a child by that person and you are tight in the family inner circle and the family likes you, And they had sprinter bands taking everybody out there. And you've been doing all these press announcements saying, I'm his rock, I'm his thing, I'm his peace. My whole family's going to be at the funeral, right? Wouldn't you be in the same car as Tristan paid for the whole funeral? Wouldn't you be in the same car with them? Drake was closer to him. They had all these photos from far away because they were hiding, because the Kardashians, in my mind, released where the funeral was going to be held. And they had to zoom in on Kris and Khloe. But even in the wide shots, they couldn't even get them in the same angle as Tristan. Because please believe, if Khloe was being Tristan's rock and sitting by him and supporting him, there would have been shots of them getting out the car together. There would have been shots of her standing stoically by her baby. There would have been shots of the Kardashians surrounding Tristan and being there for him in his time of need. The fact that they could not get one even wide angle where Khloe was even in the frame, the fact that they had to zoom in and do these tight shots lets me know, and I could be wrong, two things. One, yeah, it ain't like that. Tristan's family pushed y'all to the outskirts because they don't know you, and they made sure, right? They made sure they weren't down for the nonsense. And two, Khloe, it ain't even like that. It ain't even like you are saying. I don't know what y'all think, because I think every culture, you have a baby, you're the rock, you flew out. Also, I found a little tidbit, right? I did a little research, and some of y'all were right. Tristan flew out on Kim's private jet to go see his mom. It looks like the same private jet. We don't know for sure, but let's just say this. You guys, how does that prove anything? I actually find that even funnier, because let's think about it. Tristan's mom, at this point, we thought that she went to the hospital on Thursday and then she passed away that Thursday. New stories are coming out that she went to the hospital on Thursday. They tried to save her, and unfortunately, she passed away on Friday. Again, thoughts and prayers to Tristan's mom. But it's funny how Tristan called Khloe, had to tell her, my mom passed away. Tristan actually used Khloe's private, like, I need a private jet. Khloe magically showed up dressed like, I'm going to be his rock. Got on the plane. Tristan went there, got around his family and his friends. Drake Ski and all those people were there. And then Khloe got sent back home. And the next time she could come is when she was with her mom and her sisters. And they couldn't even get Tristan in a frame. And I know what y'all saying. It's not about that. It is with the Kardashians. The fact that they are even putting this in the news, they want to whet people's appetite for what really happened in the funeral. Again, you can't control what people do. I hope to God the family was successful in making sure this wasn't a plot line for keeping up with the Kardashians. Again, I hope they didn't sign any waivers. I hope they didn't let people film. I hope this and that. But y'all, I think it's safe to say this is going to be Khloe's storyline. Now, hear me out, right? Tristan took Khloe through a lot. Dogged her out. I can see why Khloe wouldn't have any good feelings toward Tristan. I would say this though, in times like this, especially in times with death, is it really the time? Is it really a time? And even though Tristan is deep in the mourning, I would suspect, heavy in the morning. Say what you want about Tristan, but the best parts of him came out while he was around his mom. He was a mama's boy. He loved his mom and he loved his three brothers. His youngest one was special needs and had very serious epilepsy. Tristan raised funds. He was a spokesperson. Tristan did what he could. So Tristan has to be deep in grief. And you know how it is in grief. It changes people. Sometimes it changes them for the better. Sometimes the grief and the anger about why me overcomes them, and it takes them a few years to recover. Regardless of what Tristan's going through, do we really think that this was a good thing that Khloe treated Tristan like this, acted like this, did this stuff? I think it's incredibly tacky and in bad taste. But that said, I talk mess for a living, so I want to hear what y'all have to say, right? I do think it was incredibly tacky. It showed exactly that. And this has always been my problem with Khloe. She talks a good game. When you hear Khloe talk and when you hear the things she say, it talks a good game. It's giving you that Cancer energy, the way they're like, I'm about my family. I love hard. I do this. All great and admirable things. But the more and more you listen to Khloe, the more you realize that It seems like from the outside looking in, she hides behind a sense of caring to get control. She hides behind, let me be your emotional support so she can gain more control. Khloe is just like Kim. It's just like most of her sisters, if not all. While we don't know them personally, we've seen the way Khloe moves. You talk all this about you're going to be there for Tristan, it don't matter, y'all family forever, but then you release that you're paying for the mom's funeral, which for a lot of people, especially Black families, especially Caribbean families, and maybe most families, I can only speak on what I know, it is incredibly demeaning, incredibly derogatory. Then somehow Tristan heard about that. Maybe the family heard about it and made her walk that back, to which she said, oh no, Tristan's handling everything, but I'm going to be there as his support. So now, first of all, why'd you even mention that you'd be helping somebody financially? With funerals, not again. Then it turns into I'm going to be this emotional support. As soon as that came out, she got sent back home, right? Then it turned into we're family forever. Kris Jenner did speak at the funeral. I will say one thing about Kris Jenner: everybody seems to like her. Say what you, she is an evil mastermind and what she did, but when you're face to face, everybody says they melt like butter because Kris is such a people person, right? She knows how to make people feel valued and respected. And getting back to Khloe, then Khloe's like, I'm his rock, I'm this, releasing things during a time when this man is mourning. And then you can't even get a shot with him in the frame. And don't tell me that TMZ wasn't looking for that money shot. Again, Khloe talked about she's such a good person and you would never do this to the father of your kids, but you made a storyline about the lying and the cheating. Now it's her story to tell. It's your story to tell, right? And true know better than all of us what's true, what's not. But the fact that you want to come off as a kind, giving, loving, forgiving person, when at the end of the day, you hold grudges, you have low self-esteem, you blame others for your low self-esteem, you say that like people shouldn't blame women when men cheat, but you were the first person to blame a young woman named Jordan Woods, publicly shame her. You want so much sympathy for what Tristan did to you, but you were the ringleader in torturing Tristan's first baby's mom because she committed the sin of being pregnant with his child when you decided that you wanted him. Again, this is my issue with Khloe. She is, to me, it seems like just very inauthentic. And here's the thing, you don't have to spit in my face and tell me it's raining. Be you. Embrace your inner villain, but stop hiding behind this PR thing about you do everything out of love, motivation, caring. No. Let me tell y'all something. If you've ever seen Fargo season 2, it's the guy that played Watson on Sherlock, right? And just follow me on this, right? It's the best example of what my mom and my dad always told me. Never mistake weakness for kindness. Never mistake pity for empathy. A lot of people look at Khloe and they look at how they pity her and they look at how like weak she is when it comes to demanding respect for herself, and they mistake that for a good person, a loving person. That's not true. The guy from the second season of Fargo, what was he? He seemed like such a case where he was like so weak, so this, so that, but you found out he was the most vicious creature. And while some predators are like lions and just come at you, other predators play dead, so when you come close, boom, they can snatch you by your neck. I feel like Khloe is that. Anyway, y'all, I'm keeping y'all updated on this. This better not be a storyline. Again, they can do what they want, but you know I'm going to drag it. Also, I'll probably be reviewing Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And this season's good. But again, like I said, y'all, this was incredibly tacky. It was incredibly in bad taste. And for those of y'all being like, why are y'all even talking about leave them alone? When they stop posting mess, and TMZ, we will. But until then, baby, you wanted us to talk. So we're going to give y'all a show. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.